And then I'm going to highlight this text box. Remember, this is sitting on top of my grid. It's not a part of my grid. And I'll go ahead under Tab, under Type, and get my tabs. Now, whenever you bring up the tab dialog box or the tab ruler, it automatically is set edge to edge. The width is based on my text box. And remember, my text box goes from the left side of my grid to the right side. So this will automatically be set to the line length or the width of the text box. And in our tabs, pretty simple. We can line things up flush left, centered, flush right, and then let's say we had a group of numbers or dollar amounts and you want them lined up to the decimal point for dollars and cents. You can choose that style. And so in my case, I'm going to leave them lined up flush left. And all you need to do when you want to tab, remember I manually put a tab in here to whatever the default was. And all I need to do is come anywhere in the ruler here and click. I'm going to put my first one right here at 1 inch. And look, you see the two bumped over to that first tab. Basically, it adjusted the tab that I already had in there. And so the same thing, I will go to 2, I'll go to 3, and you can see that they are all bumping over very, very nicely. Now, we may come back here in a second and we'll adjust them a little bit further. And so I'm looking here, and they're a little bit close. This one is just a little bit off in terms of where it is. Okay, and so the number 2, I like where it's at. The number 3, all I need to do is look. When I drag this, you see it moves over. So I can either come in here and set this exactly where I want it, or I can manually and just visually place these where I want it. And you can see they're moving over nicely. Okay, and so there's that, and there's that one, and we'll move this one here, and then we'll move this one over a little bit. Okay. And so here you are, and the second row adjusted itself. And one other thing while we're here, if we were doing a table of contents, we might very well want, you know, the words for that are there, and then over to the right you often have your page numbers. And in that particular situation, you also may very well want to have the little dots in between your numbers, between the name of that section of, let's say, your book and the numbers. Well, that's what you can do right here in where it says leaders. I can simply type. I can type a period, and then I'll hit my return key, and typically what you'll end up with is, in fact, you will have the little dots in there, and you see right in here where I had the last tab activated, you see it added the leaders. And so that, again, is very simple to do. And all you do is you type in one period. So I had that one activated, and that's when I typed in the period. That's why I put them here. So let me get rid of that. Take that out. And there you see it. And I'll tab it. Oh, they're still in there. Okay, so let me go back to my tabs. It's very simple, and I'll take it out and then hit my return key, and you see it disappear. So here you can now see I've got my numbers. And the point I want to make, especially for the calendar, is that let's say we go to January, and remember all calendars start with Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So let's say in January, the the first day of the month starts on Monday. Well, all I need to do is bump my tab, and all the numbers moved over. Now you say, oh, well, this bumped down here. Well, and you know, this didn't fill in. Well, put it in front of the 8 and then delete, and then hit the tab. So you might have to hit delete and put it in different places in tab, but the point is, if I do this once on the master page, then I go to the individual calendar pages, I'm able to very quickly, for January, the 1st is on Monday, then I go to Tuesday, I go to February, and let's say it's on a Wednesday, so I would go to the February month, override master page items, and then just move it, and again adjust the rest of the days. But essentially I did one grid with all the numbers 1 through 31 on the master page. I set up the tabs so that they line up properly, and then I simply go to the individual pages or the individual months of on the pages of my calendar, and I can bump them forward or back as many times as I want, and it's really going to be much faster, much more consistent, and much easier than actually putting individual numbers inside each cell block and having to do that and adjust them, you know, potentially 30 of them on 12 different months. That's just not a very good use of your time and energy.